The 1984 Olympics, when you win gold, you've said it was a feeling of loss and emptiness. Why?
Well, that's just part of it. I didn't skate my best. You want your Olympic gold medal moment to be the greatest performance of your life. And some people have had those. I think Dorothy had that. I think Brian Boitano had that. A lot of people, Evan Lysacek had that. There's been a lot of great skaters that had that Olympic moment where it was the best they've ever skated. And I kind of wanted that too, and I prepared perfectly. I eliminated every would have, could have, and should have going into that competition. And after figures, I won the figures, which I was hoping to be second. But my strategy going in was that if I was top 3 in every event, figure, short, and long, I couldn't lose. Because the guys that were great at figures were going to take up a lot of that space for the guys that were great in free skating. And so the math works where if I'm just top 3 in everything, I can't lose. I knew that. And so we get to the press conference, that's a whole other story. But when I'm standing on the podium accepting my medal, and it's kind of your question about the loss and the, it's that little sheet of thing that you're standing on. You've got a gold medal around your neck, and the emotions are, it's every emotion. It's like I'm really happy that I can't, this is a dream I never even thought to dream until a couple years before. And I'm relieved that I didn't, totally blow it. And then at the same time, all this feeling of like, I'm the only one standing here. Do you know how many people sacrificed for me to be able to do that? And I'm the only one standing here? It's like the guilt was unbelievable. It's like, I don't know. And then there's that, holy cow, now who am I? Because, for most of my life, I've been pursuing this dream of competing at the highest level. Who am I? I don't, where am I going after now? I don't have an identity anymore. And then you look over the edge of the podium and it feels like you're standing on the edge of a cliff. It's like, you almost get dizzy thinking like, oh, wow, my whole life is now gone totally 180. It's like, oh, slow down. And I was old enough to know that life was forever going to be different. And it was really a crazy, 5-6 minutes that I was standing on that podium.
Why, after winning gold, do you stick the medal in a paper bag and put it in your bedroom drawer?
I process that now all the time. I think I knew that I'd seen enough where I didn't want that to hold me back, right? I didn't want me to be putting my whole life onto that moment. And it was really interesting that right after the Olympics, 2 things happened. One, I was invited to speak at the Paralympics banquet in Denver. And so I walked in, thinking I'm the stuff. And I walk in and I see all these athletes with medals just like mine around their neck that didn't have legs, that were blind, that were, and I'm like, I did this able-bodied, and their challenges were much greater than mine, and they were conquering mountains and all these. I go, okay, remember this always, and just be humbled by it. And the other part was I went, and the governor of Colorado, Governor Lamb, invited me to come to his office, and I thought at the time it was a photo op. But I got to his office, there was another gentleman there, the governor excused him, so it's just me and him. And I'm looking, I've never had a political situation like that before, and I was really not prepared for it at all. And he just said, look, my wife met you at the parade. They did a big parade when I got back, and she thought that you were a really grounded, nice person. I go, well, thank you. And he said, I just want you to know there's this thing called the hometown hero syndrome. And I go, what's that? And he goes, it's like the boy in high school. It's a quarterback of his football team, and he throws the big pass at the end to win the state championship, and he's carried out of the stadium on somebody's shoulders, and he thinks the rest of his life is going to be that way. It's not. I want you to enjoy everything that you've earned. I want you to enjoy every moment of this time, but it's not going to last. And I want you to truly understand that. And I just felt like I owed you that. And I've never forgotten it, because it was one of those things where it's like, okay, so the medal, it can't be a part of my everyday world. It's got to go away. And so I put it in a bag and it lived in a drawer for 6 years until I got inducted into the World Figure Skating Hall of Fame. And then it was like, I can get rid of all my stuff.
To what extent does any part of you wish you held on to that?
Zero.